Does a group perform like a person? Will a group of smart people make a smart team? Will a smart individual increase the productivity of a group? Think about a sports team you're familiar with, and do you believe having a star in the team always leads to good scores? Or think about the president's cabinet. Does a group of the smartest people always make the smartest decisions? Today, I will discuss collective intelligence. Woolley, Chabrais, Pentland, Hashmi, and Malone in 2010 introduced the concept of a collective intelligence factor, or C, which represents a group-level equivalent of the individual's general intelligence, or general cognitive ability, the G. Just as G predicts an individual's performance across different cognitive tasks, C predicts a group's performance across a wide variety of tasks, such as problem-solving, decision-making, and moral reasoning. The researchers conducted 2 studies with 699 people who were working in groups of 2 to 5. Participants were randomly assigned to teams to complete tasks from the McGrath Task Circumplex. This is a well-established taxonomy of group tasks based on the coordination process they require, and it includes solving visual puzzles, brainstorming, making collective moral judgments, and negotiating over limited resources. Each individual's intelligence was also measured, and as a criterion task, each group played checkers against a standardized computer opponent in Study 1 or an architecture design task in Study 2. The results confirmed that, first, factor C exists. The factor analysis revealed that a single statistical factor could explain between group differences in performance across tasks. Similar to how individual IQ works, the first factor accounted for more than 43% of the variance in the studies, accounting for more than twice as much variance as the subsequent factors, which is consistent with the typical variance explained by G in individual intelligence research. Results also found that factor C is not just about smart individuals. The study showed that a group's performance was not quite correlated with the average or the maximum IQ of its members. C was a much better predictor of the group performance on the criterion tasks than the average or maximum individual intelligence. So having a group of high IQ individuals or a genius in the group doesn't guarantee a high-performing group. So what drives C? Woolley et al. Identified 3 main predictors: average social sensitivity, equality in the conversational turn-taking, and proportion of women in the group. They also tested other factors like group cohesion, motivation, and satisfaction, but none of them are predictive of the group's performance. So the first most crucial factor is the average social sensitivity. It is the ability of group members to perceive emotions and mental status in others. The researchers measured it using the RME test, which is the Reading the Mind in the Eye test. It is a widely used psychological assessment designed to measure social sensitivity, or theory of mind, which is the ability to understand what others are thinking or feeling. Participants are shown black and white photographs of just the eye region of the human faces. For each photo, they must choose which word best described what the person is thinking or feeling. For example, look at the graph now, and can you match the eyes of the following mental state? Insisting, defiant, flirtatious, accusing, desire, fantasizing. So how did you do in the social sensitivity test? Woolley et al.'s study showed a significant correlation between the average social sensitivity and the collective intelligence C. Think of a real-time macro race in soccer terms, like the Real Madrid from 2000 to 2005. Zidane, Raul, Roberto Carlos created a pattern that they can time another player's third-man run, anticipate a layoff, and sense when a teammate will invert versus overlap. This pattern worked well because of the extremely fast and accurate interpersonal rates. This is functionally high social sensitivity. During a surgery, nurses and surgeons read body language cues to anticipate needs, reducing errors, shortening surgery times in the high-pressure operating rooms. Another crucial predictor is the equality in conversational turn-taking. Groups in which all members contribute equally rather than being dominated by one or two voices perform better. For example, during the UN peace negotiations, structured turn-taking allowed junior advisors to present overlooked insights, contributing to a successful consensus. Spotify created the Spotify model, which emphasizes the importance of culture and network for scaling agile in the company. It is essentially an inclusive, people-driven, and autonomous approach that aligns with the study results. Another important factor is the proportion of women in the group. Groups with higher proportion of women tended to score higher on the collective intelligence C, largely mediated by women's higher social sensitivity, not because of the stereotypes. More Fortune 500 companies are implementing gender-diverse boards, encouraging quieter members to contribute and thereby improving strategic decisions. Startups like Slack also have strong female representation among engineers to lead innovative features. In the NASA Mars rover teams, female team leads fostered inclusive communication norms, reducing miscommunication and enhancing problem-solving efficiency. The researchers raised additional interesting questions after the study. For instance, could this short collective intelligence test predict a team's long-term effectiveness? Does this make it sound like raising the intelligence of a group is easier than raising the intelligence of an individual? What are your thoughts on collective intelligence? What are possible ways to improve the factor C? Leave your comments below and thanks for watching.